Hi, everyone. Welcome to our latest installment of Pitch Perfect. Really excited to have you all on the session today. We've got a fantastic group of companies. So to kick things off today, my name's Trieste, head of the campaign strategy team here at FrontFundr. For the presentation today, just something to keep in mind that the presentation may contain forward-looking information. There can be no assurance that forward-looking information will prove to be accurate, as actual results and future events could differ materially from those anticipated in such statements. Accordingly, viewers should not place undue reliance on forward-looking information. And lastly, for today, we're going to turn things over to Jan from the Holt Exchange. So Holt Exchange Master Fund empowers its funds through its proprietary platform to invest in the world's best ventures that fit with their network. So Jan, excited for this one. It is one of the only deals we have on the session right now that's actually incoming soon, meaning you can make a reservation before the investment opportunity will open up. So Jan, tell us a little bit more about it.
Awesome. Great to be here. Hopefully you can see the screen and hear me okay. I'll just start
Looks
going
good.
along with it. So Jan, founding managing partner of the Holt Exchange, and you're going to hear a little bit about our platform Raise. We are, it's in the name actually. So we use a data-driven approach with our data science team to scout the best companies from around the world, fintech companies that are going through change. We help to identify and see those changes and bring and act better and more change in those companies. I'm talking in terms of positive valuations, by matching them with advisors within our network. We have a market network available for them to be matched with. So high level, what does this mean? We now have a portfolio with assets under management of $20 million. And we've noticed that for every dollar we invested has turned into about $3 in terms of this book value. So we're tracking to a 3x multiple right now. That's generally a pretty positive sign already. And we have 39 investments. So they're predominantly North American-based companies or international companies with North American grade technology looking to enter the North American market, usually through Canada, because that's actually where most of our base is from. So it's a global diversified portfolio, which is quite interesting here. A lot of logos on the page, but what I will say is the portfolios are doing fantastic. They've raised over $125 million since after we've actually invested into them, and they've actually raised from 40 institutional investors. Maybe I can cherry pick a couple for you right here. Hey, what do you know? There just happened to be a couple that FrontFundr had successfully backed as well. So we had invested actually prior to their FrontFundr rounds. We tend to be sort of early investors and help to seek out other investors within that. So if you were to invest in us, you would still get exposure within these companies as well as a full diversified portfolio company. So if you missed your chance on this, hey, there's still an opportunity to get that exposure there. So here's a couple of success stories. I won't go through all, don't have time, but the key to us is we've really built a growing and powerful community now, 600 advisors strong. These are investors, financial institutions, experts, predominantly from Canada, but North America, as well as some internationally as well. These are people that are excited about early stage fintech. We profile them, we understand what they're looking for, we match them at the right time with the right deals, and it seems to be working. We've actually facilitated over 100 deals between this advisor network and our portfolio companies. And on the other side is really scouting in that crowd, right? Finding those diamonds in the dirt there. Omni-channel approach to how we look through multiple sources to identify the top companies that are out there. And that's how we're tracking. There's 10,000 fintechs, right? Any given year, and identifying the top 1,000, sort of the cream of the crop, and spending more time augmenting that data, having conversations with them. And that's how eventually we get to the 39 portfolio companies. In fact, we include our advisors in that review process to ensure that we do pick the best ones that fit with our network. So to be clear about us, we're not just this fund. We are a platform here. So we have by investing in us, we are bullish on this network 2.0. Everyone VC is going to brag about their network. Well, I can tell you, we get 5,000 hours of support from our network. We track it aggressively, and we understand. We even have a leaderboard to show us who is the most engaged on our system. So we have our own tech system, which is quite unique. We practice what we preach here with our portfolio companies. Those that invest get exposure to a diversified portfolio of 39 companies and any future investments that we will continue to make as we go forward. And what's very unique, and some would say generous, is that we are launching new funds. The carry and fees flow back into this main master platform. So you get all this upside. It's incredibly unique and a great opportunity to get a good diversified portfolio. Won't spend too long on the team. Just know myself, I've actually been doing this for quite some time, doing fintech before I was a term here up in Canada, started nonprofits in the space to do this, helped a bunch of companies raise capital, and met a fifth generation family Brendan, he's a great grandson of Sir Herbert Holt. Great to be working with him and the rest of the team. And we have a heavy tech team to help us build. And what you'll see is we started with a bunch of founding LPs. These are people whose total have billions in assets under management. So we're well backed. They've done hundreds of deals themselves. They represent 5 countries. We said, are you okay if we open this up to other investors? Because our advisors asked for the opportunity to invest alongside us. We said, well, why not? This will align their output, their work they do with our portfolio companies with our funds returns. So we actually did this last year. We brought in 30 new LPs. It's been incredibly successful. And that is why we are furthering this, partnering with FrontFundr, further democratizing. We believe every person should have a portion of their assets in venture capital. And so we're further opening that here by raising and completing this $5.7 million round. We've closed $2 million. If you can also soft circled funds, we're looking at about 70% of this particular fundraise. And that's going to get us to 50 active portfolio companies, launch our next funds, and really build a commercial grade VC as a service tech platform that's there. So that's a quick brief about us. Thanks for the time.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for that presentation there, Jan. Great to see. The fact that you guys are, continually kind of monitoring 10,000 startups in the market at any given day is insane. Perhaps you could tell us a little bit more about what your process is for evaluating those opportunities for the fund and how you look to assess these startups.
Certainly. So yeah, as we're looking for companies, we have a long tail scraper of identifying, even just seeing who's out there, right? It's actually incredibly tricky. Some of the best companies are still in stealth mode. From there, we actually have a suite of systems and tools to augment that data. And then from there, we're able to start, sifting through and getting on calls. We have at first have our own algo to identify those, and then we can go after the top quartile at that point. From there, we get on calls with them. So we start getting to this top 1,000 compile. Our goal is to get that down to a list of about 100, and we start doing interviews. We start including our advisors, which afterwards the top 20 come to a selection day where they meet upwards of 100 of our advisors. We collect all this feedback, and then we, through that, the top 10 move into due diligence, which then those that present the best fit, the best opportunity from investment is how we actually move forward and make the investments for that year. So that's, and even after we have 12 weeks working with them, as sort of an extended due diligence for follow-on investment thereafter. So it's quite a rigorous process.
Wow, that's amazing. And it's definitely for the companies that you do support. There's a great level of prestige that comes with being a Holt-backed company. So it's incredible to learn more about your process there. For any final questions for the session today, do feel free to throw them in the Q&A. I know one of the topics that came up for me is just you've worked with all these companies, some of which have been FrontFundr alumni, which is great to see. But perhaps you could give us a bit more detail on some success stories that have come out of the companies that you funded.
Yeah, actually, I do have at least one more slide. So good thing I stayed at the deck. That makes it easier. So just a couple of them. Owl was a Vancouver-based, Canadian-based company. We first invested. They were at a 10 million valuation. They're now valued at $250 million. So you're going to notice a common theme. We're usually the first sort of institutional investor in, and we are value add, meaning we facilitated their lead investors. We help find strategic investors to complete that round and early customers. We believe this is important in this process because it de-risks everything. It's a better chance that they actually succeed, and they actually succeed more quickly in that process. So we've covered Mansell before, right? They've actually raised, they're currently trading at 3x multiple from our initial investment on that. They're doing fantastically well. That when we first invested, they were a purely mortgage based halal financing mortgage product to simplify it, but have since moved really targeting a community niche, neo-banking, serving the Muslim community. So you're able to invest, align your religious beliefs with your ability to access financial products, including wealth management and ability to establish estate planning and wills and all that good stuff. And lastly, Naris, as an example, long story short, is they actually just did a 31 million private token sale. This is beautiful technology, a really good use case of how blockchain should be utilized. It's decentralized cybersecurity system, which has been mentioned to be the future. They have, senior advisors from the chief of the defense from NATO, as well as the founder of the internet themselves. Phenomenal team in place, and the future of in this world of cybersecurity, we need to find solutions. So very excited about these companies.
That's amazing. Thanks for the fantastic examples there. You mentioned that you typically, are leading a lot of these rounds or the funding of companies. So we had a question come through just on how much of the profile is seed versus Series A versus Series B. So perhaps you could tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so we generally always look to invest at the seed round. That's usually the sweet spot within it. So predominantly a lot of the companies are there and then moving towards I'd say another 20, 30-ish% are higher than that, have advanced into the Series A and Series B, the furthest, and starting to move towards C. So we have now Owl being at the Series B, moving towards C, several others. I don't know if I can list them yet. Are actually moving into the A as well. So yeah, that gives you some rough ideas on the particular breakdown of the companies. Happy to give more details on the NAV and the stage. Like we have all that actually written out if you want to go further into due diligence.
Fantastic. Thanks, Jen. We've got one more question that I think we're going to be able to get through today. So we've had a question come through from Taj. Just where do you see yourself in a couple of years? I don't know if that's specific to you, Jen, or the fund itself, but perhaps you can tell us where the fund is headed in the next couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, our goal, is diving back here to join the family, is to have people like yourself join this fund. But most importantly, I'd say like we're a platform, so we will be managing multiple funds through this platform to target different areas. We actually announced that we have a big show. That's actually part of it. That's one way that we engage our advisors and LPs. You have to have that as part of the process to maximize the probability of deals. But in doing so, we announced a new fund. It's actually a fund in the sports, entertainment, media, and technology space, and how fintech intersects with that. So you can think of it as how content producers like athletes and artists and other celebrities can better, let's say, monetize and engage, whether it be through Web3 or NFT focus, which we understand very strongly. And so we started looking at that fund, and we'll be launching that. The goal and the purpose of this is that we'll be launching multiple funds, managing those funds, and being sort of the fund to fund in many ways. So this is an opportunity for you to invest into a vehicle for which you are almost like a GP, but you don't have the GP risks because you're still an LP here. And we'll be managing this through a tech platform that's incredibly unique to be able to make this happen with a tremendous community behind us.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much, Jan. Great presentation. Thank you for answering all the questions there. Now to wrap things up for today, just wanted to give everyone a quick high-level overview on FrontFundr in case you're new to learning about FrontFundr. So we're Canada's leading equity crowdfunding platform, making it easy for all Canadians to invest in Canada's most exciting startups, just like the 5 that you had the chance to view today, from as little as $250. We've now done over 100 raises, raising over 120 million for companies with 15 investments across the platform and 34,000 investors. So more importantly, if you're ready to get started, visit frontfundr.com to learn about making your investment. You can also reach out to our team at support@frontfundr.com with any questions. We also have a chat bot on the website that is available to support you with anything that you need. But really want to say thank you to everyone who joined the session today. Thank you to our 5 panelists for giving such fantastic presentations and doing a wonderful job answering the Q&A. And thank you to all of those who joined in as attendees. You asked great questions throughout the session today. And for any follow-up questions that you have, or for any that we weren't able to get through today, I encourage you guys to visit the campaign pages themselves and to reach out to the companies directly. So with that, thank you very much, everyone, and wish you a great rest of your day.